Good evening, this is the Oscar expert here with Brother Bro, and it's time for SAG predictions. Let's go to the stunts category, get this one out of the way. I'm not really convinced about what will win yet, but this is a really competitive year because it's been such a great year for action films. I think the top four, it's gonna be Top Gun Maverick, Everything Everywhere, Wakanda Forever, and The Woman King. And then I think Avatar will probably get in. The first one didn't get nominated, but there were only 3 nominees. All Quiet on the Western Front, though. You know, we saw that get long list love at the BAFTA and the Oscars. I'm curious to see if that can start popping up at the guilds. I'm looking now, and 1917 did not get nominated. They snub weird shit sometimes. RRR could also get stunts, but RRR is not really looking like it's taking off in that way. It might get in if there was less competition, but there's quite a lot of competition. And then The Batman is another movie that I can see happening. They could nominate any random Marvel movie or whatever. But this year, when you have all these like actual Best Picture contenders that have action and stunts and fighting and all that shit, we're gonna predict those movies. Supporting actor, Ke Huy Quan's getting this win. This is so in the fucking bag. There's really 3 actors that are like pure locks at this point, especially when you consider everyone beneath them. It's Ke Huy Quan, Brendan Gleeson, and Barry Keoghan. They have been getting nominated everywhere, and they will continue to get nominated everywhere, and it's not going to be hard, it's not going to be difficult, it's going to be easy. And the last 2 slots are so ambiguous. I bet you Gold Derby. I bet you Gold Derby's got one of the Fieldman's boys, which is, you know, a fair bet. I think Gold Derby has a good nurse, which I actually agree with, because like Jared Leto in The Little Things, you know, he makes a comeback. Golden Globe. It could happen. I would say it's not the worst bet. Then they nominated House of Gucci for 3 awards last time. And it's not that I think Eddie Redmayne is giving a Jared Leto performance in House of Gucci, but it's just that type of thing where I really don't think that the Oscars are going to go near it. But he got the fucking BAFTA long list. Like, the guy's actually in contention. Okay, the guy's actually in contention. It's taking off. There's traction. And finally, Brad Pitt in Babylon. This is weird. This is a little bit weird. Because and I don't even know if I'm going to predict Margot Robbie. I don't even know if I'm going to predict Margot Robbie. But it's like, what else do you do? Like, the Fabelmans boys didn't even get shortlisted for BAFTA. And they didn't get... My God. The only thing they've gotten are Critics' Choice. Remember, the Belfast boys were both snubbed at SAG. The SAGs also snubbed both Spotlight boys. So people who are... If you're predicting both Fabelmans boys... Get out. Get out of there. Get out. Get out of there. Brad Pitt has kind of been the thing where, you know, people don't want to touch it, but I don't think that the industry cares, and I don't think that his Golden Globe... We were looking at to see if someone nominates him, what happens? Do they get a lot of pushback? Do they get a lot of shit? And sure, if you went on Twitter, you know, there's probably areas where they got shit, but it really didn't seem like a storm of people were coming after them, being like, how dare you nominate Brad Pitt? And I don't know if that caught on to, like, the public. Hollywood's probably pretty invested in this drama, though. The awards he's been getting nominated for feels like it doesn't matter. It feels like it hasn't been a factor up until this point, so I would be willing to be like, okay, maybe, you know, let's not consider it as a factor. Let's look at the fact that this field, you know, has 2 open slots and that he's in the movie a lot and he has gotten a couple nominations. If one Fabelman's boy gets in, I think it'd be Paul Dano here. Judd Hirsch feels like he could be an Oscar surprise or something. Tom Hanks and Elvis. Now, I'm even closer to predicting him for this than I was for the Golden Globe. And I knew he wasn't going to get the Golden Globe because I was like, people are just trying to, like, think that they're gonna do some crazy Globe shit, but SAG sometimes does crazy shit. SAG does crazy weird shit too. I don't really buy it, but really the others are just not convincing enough to me. I could default to a Fabelman's boy, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna default. I have hope, and I still think it could happen. Brian Tyree Henry and Causeway. Yeah, Apple TV. I still think that might happen because Apple TV is putting in the money to campaign him and Jennifer Lawrence. I don't really know why. Like, I don't think Jennifer Lawrence is gonna take off anywhere. But he's great enough that, like, I really hope he gets in. And maybe they could do it. They sometimes pull off, like, one-er nominations where, you know, someone gets in that you don't expect. If he got in here, though, I would think that he'd be pretty strong. That'd be like, whoa, hey, are you getting the Oscar nomination? So, but I don't know. He didn't make the BAFTA long list either. Now, Ben Whishaw for Women Talking, I would have said he's a big thing, but Women Talking, like, something bad is happening to it. They're trying. They are putting the movie out. They're, like, getting everybody on the cover of magazines. They're going to the round tables and stuff, and people just aren't having it. Like, they're not interested in the movie. So, well, it kind of feels like no one's seen it at this point. Box office-wise, it came out really late. I don't think that was a good idea. It didn't make a lot of money. It did not make money, but also, like, it kind of makes sense that there'd be low interest in the story. Unfortunately, like, even though I think it's one of my favorites of the year, like put yourselves in the shoes of a pleb, like just a regular person. Give them a really solid reason to see the movie if they're just like, I want to be entertained. Like, then
it's hard to convince them to go to the movies.
You're trying to tell people to eat their vegetables.
And these are good veggies. Like, these are some really good vegetables.
Brad Pitt on Gold Derby is number 9 right now. That's not true. That's not true. Oh, yeah. Heck, Miles Teller, Top Gun Maverick.
I floated this. I was like, okay, if someone's going to get in, that's very weird. It could be him. It's odd, but I can tell, you know, through this screen, this connection that we have, that you are also on this wavelength, that you can see it happening. You're part of your brain saying, okay, maybe I could see it. Maybe there's like a 1 in 100 chance that it could happen. You know, in a weird way, looking at how barren the supporting actor category is, it's funny that Edward Norton's not taking off for Glass Onion.
I thought
it's kind of funny.
Like really good.
It's kind of funny,
like, kind of deserving.
They're just not trying with him.
Yeah, they're not trying.
They just want everything on Janelle Monáe.
Supporting actress. Whoever wins the Golden Globe, I think people are going to think that they're winning this.
You've got a top 3, though. People who have been nominated everywhere that you shouldn't bet against. That's Angela Bassett, Carrie Condon, Jamie Lee Curtis.
And Angela Bassett could be pretty strong here. Janelle Monáe, Glass Onion, I feel pretty good about it here.
Yeah,
like
because it is a good shot in ensemble.
I don't think it's locked for ensemble. Because remember how we thought Knives Out was like so getting in? But the difference, I think, here is the Netflix push is going to be a little harder. Mm-hmm. And this movie really, I think, even more than Knives Out, it is absolutely sweeping the Ensemble Awards. Critics are giving it the wins.
I do still maintain that Glass Onion is a sugar high and that, you know, she might not make the Oscar and that Glass Onion might not make Best Picture.
But I could definitely see the SAG.
I think she gets it.
And they're probably putting up loads of billboards with her on it, I bet you. Yeah. Hong Chow for The Whale.
I don't know.
Listen, hey, the box office for The Whale's been pretty good. The audience scores are very good for The Whale, okay? People who are like, no one wants to watch a movie about a guy eating himself to death. It's too depressing. No, they like crying about it. They like crying about the movie.
In a weird way, watching Brendan Fraser play someone who's eating themselves to death is a draw.
Brendan Fraser's
when I read like the synopsis for The Whale, I was like, I know it's weird, but I want to see it.
Check out the audience scores. 91% Rotten Tomatoes and an 8.1 on IMDb right now. So, like, I don't think this movie's dead. She did get the BAFTA long list, by the way. And I think the movie could, like, be warming up and maybe gets a few Oscar nominations people don't expect. I can't quite bring myself to predict Stephanie Hsu. The BAFTA long list snub was kind of brutal. I did not like that. I was not happy about that.
Here's another thing that we were talking about this. Sometimes the Critics' Choice do things that people think is happening and want to happen, but the signs aren't there that they're taking off in other places. So like Ann Dowd in Mass, for example. Jessie Buckley in Women Talking, and they might be the only people to nominate her. Stephanie Hsu not being BAFTA longlisted and not being nominated at the Golden Globes, I don't actually take that much stock in the fact that she has a Critics' Choice nomination. Like, it's not that meaningful to me. It will be very meaningful for me to predict her for the Oscar if she gets it here, and she could, but I don't have like a great reason to predict her. And I hate to say
I think they're gonna love Everything Everywhere too. And if she gets in, this movie will break the record for the most SAG nominations a movie's ever gotten.
As long as it gets stunts.
Stunts, 4 acting awards, and ensemble. That would be a record.
She might get in though, because I could see SAG and PGA. Could I see PGA loving Everything Everywhere? Yeah, I guess I could.
Yeah, they could.
I could see SAG really liking Everything Everywhere All at Once, because actors, think about actors, like, they're fucking weird. There's 2 narratives for cast members in this film that are like exquisite and delicious that resonate with actors.
3. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, and Jamie Lee Curtis, I guess,
getting her first Oscar nomination.
But mostly with like the opportunity to play a character that like resonates with you and a part that was made for you. I feel like it would resonate with SAG voters if anybody.
It's gonna win SAG Ensemble too.
That's actually a good reason to predict her, though. For some reason, I don't know if I buy Hong Chow and The Whale. I'm actually thinking, if I were to go out on a limb and be weird, I would say like Keke Palmer and Nope, because they always do something weird.
And they have seen it.
And Nope is a highly visible movie. And, you know, she was very fun and good in the movie, and she has been getting a little bit here and there.
I would say here's the weird thing.
I can see it happening.
I would say here's the weird thing about Keke Palmer and Nope, if it were to happen here, is like, that's a thing that critics are like, let's throw under the conversation, even though like we know that deep down it's sadly not going to happen.
It's also category fraud, but
it would be weird for that kind of thing to get in at SAG.
Yeah.
But, like, I get it, though, because they did nominate Lupita in Us.
I don't know if people are thinking about Nope this award season. That's just, like, my main concern. Dolly DeLeon, I want to say, like, I think she has a really good shot for BAFTA and Oscar. But for SAG, I'm not exactly sure.
Carey Mulligan for She Said is not impossible. That just comes up and you're like, wow, we're still holding on to this. Yeah. Like, I thought we got rid of this.
I also think Mariana Trevino in A Man Called Otto, like, people have been mentioning her a lot. And if A Man Called Otto went hard with, like, trying to get SAG people to see that movie, I think she could actually have a chance.
Oh, I'm sure that they've had a couple screenings. Yeah, I think A Man Called Otto could surprise somewhere.
By the way, I'm not going to predict women talking.
No.
People.
And,
it's not
and
safe.
Gold Derby's going to abandon them, too. Right now, Jessie Buckley's number 5, but she'll drop. Stephanie Hsu might make it into the top 5 on Gold Derby. And I was thinking about doing that, but, you know, we said, I think I might be disappointed.
Can we look at, like, what they do in the past?
Oh, Emily Blunt in A Quiet Place. Honestly, that feels like Keke Palmer.
It does. Yeah, it does. Margot Robbie and Mary Queen of Scots, like, kind of weird, but, like, you know, maybe that's, like, Mariana Trevino.
No, bitch. That's Carey Mulligan and She Said. Yeah, maybe Hong Chow and The Whale doesn't quite fit this for me. When I'm looking at what they've nominated in the past.
Helena Zengel for News of the World, you know what that is, too. It's Carey Mulligan, She Said.
How the fuck is that Carey
failed
Mulligan?
Oscar
Okay,
contender.
fine.
Failed Oscar contender.
Helen Mirren and Trumbo.
Go the fuck down. Go the fuck down.
Cate Blanchett, Nightmare Alley. Oh, that's kind of Carey Mulligan and She Said, too. Fuck.
Really?
God damn it, I'm gonna
You're gonna do that?
Am I gonna do it? Am I really gonna do that?
Can do it.
Am I really gonna predict Carey Mulligan and She Said? But what about Keke Palmer and Nope being Emily Blunt in A Quiet Place?
I agree.
Or Lupita in Us, you know, horror movie performance?
I don't know. We might be getting too into the weeds.
Yeah, I almost feel like Carey Mulligan feels like...
It's weird, though. It's really weird.
The Golden Globes did it, and they didn't nominate that shit for anything else. I know it's weird, but I wouldn't be, like, shocked.
And she got shortlisted for BAFTA, too.
She did get shortlisted for BAFTA. That's correct. Good job. SAG often doesn't make me, like, the most happy with all their 5s. And
yeah, right.
Because it's happier for Hong Chow.
You want to happily ignore that Carey Mulligan could get it for She Said. Like, I don't need that to happen, which is why I'm saying, like, we might need to just look at the logical arguments here for, like, okay, this could happen.
And they nominated both the Bombshell ladies, too. But Rachel McAdams got nominated here as well for Spotlight.
Keke Palmer for Nope is pretty interesting. Because if she got nominated, I would think, like, maybe she could win. I know it's really weird, but...
Yeah, well, Emily... Yeah, I agree with that. I like that I don't like this. Let's keep going.
Oh, wait! You should put this in your predictions.
Lashana Lynch?
Lashana Lynch somewhere. Lynch.
You're right.
You need to keep her in, like, she's a real possibility. And sort of Tuzo Mabedu, but, like, Lashana Lynch did get BAFTA shortlisted.
Best Actress, Michelle Yeoh is going to win. This is, like, the one place where the acting race is not ambiguous between the two.
I agree.
Everybody knows it, okay?
I agree.
Everybody knows that. Then Cate Blanchett. At number 3, I have Viola Davis, okay? Because
she's just going to...
I mean, you could do Michelle Williams. You could
because the Woman King is going to get nominated, too.
Michelle Williams will be getting in. But that's the top 4 there, I think.
Yeah.
And then really, like, so Margot Robbie, a lot of places...
I'm going to be sick, by the way. Just keep going. I'm going to be sick.
Margot Robbie, a lot of places have been saying, we don't need to do that. We just don't need it. BAFTA, they put Brad Pitt on the shortlist. They put Brad Pitt on the shortlist. They put it on every tech shortlist. And then they said, Margot Robbie, whoops, where? Yeah. Nope. And on my count, she's got 7 Critics Groups mentions. Viola Davis has 13, and everybody else has more than that. So, like... She's
Viola Davis has all the really important nominations.
Yeah, Viola Davis is probably going to get, like, everything. I mean, BAFTA's a maybe.
And they gave her the award for Ma Rainey. Like, I think that, if anyone, they love Viola Davis.
Oh, yeah. No, Viola Davis is kicking somebody
out. And listen, The Woman King is getting nominated. So, like, okay, done. Is it Margot Robbie or is it Deadweiler for Till? This is hard because...
It's really hard.
I will be sick if Daniel Deadweiler's not nominated.
Daniel Deadweiler might not get nominated. And weren't we a little bit sick last year? I recall feeling a little bit sick this time of year last year. They snubbed Kristen Stewart and Spencer. Now, what happened with that movie?
I hate to admit it, but it could happen.
I really think Margot Robbie getting nominated at SAG or not is all about how strong Babylon is still.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Does it hang on to Margot Robbie is an important question for me to ask myself. And I feel like they would go for this performance. Like, what she's doing in it is being big and screaming and being crazy. Daniel Deadweiler and Till missing the Globe, like, that would be a crazy repeat. Maybe Till just isn't a thing to most people. Maybe most people are just not seeing Till or caring about Till.
And she got snubbed over Ana de Armas.
Yeah, she did.
Like, it was bad.
And Olivia Colman.
It was bad.
And
I don't know how much stock to put in the Golden Globes. But again, it's one of those things where like I know that the Critics' Choice are going to do that, so I don't count that so much. Delroy Lindo in The Five Bloods was considered like, okay, you need to win Best Actor because you're fucking amazing in Five Bloods, and he was incredible in that movie. He got nominated for Critics' Choice because the critics were like, duh, and then the Golden Globes were like, no, and it was very painful. It was like, what? Just no, you're not going to nominate Delroy Lindo, and they were like, no, and then the SAGs were like, yeah, not us either, and we nominated To Five Bloods for Best Ensemble and not Delroy Lindo.
And Chadwick Boseman got nominated.
It was disgusting. Like, I was sick to my stomach. But listen, that's why, like, I don't see it as an impossibility that Daniel Deadwyler doesn't fully take off. And it would be disgusting, but, like, maybe not. I think it's actually the best lead actress performance of the year. But I'm not going to count it out. I'm not going to say, like, that's not happening. And I'll say this, too. Ana de Armas, I actually think she could make it in for Blonde.
For SAG?
Yeah, for SAG.
Yeah, I think for SAG, yeah.
For SAG. She actually could make it in, and it could be over Margot Robbie and Daniel Deadwyler. As despised as it is, okay, it got a Golden Globe nomination. That was, like, really big. It got BAFTA shortlisted. And it has been seen by a lot of people as #1 on Netflix. So it's one of, like, the bigger, more prominent actress performances of the year, whether we, inside of our, like, film critic-y circle, like it or not.
Why would she get in if Kristen Stewart couldn't for Spencer? That's my main question.
I'm not sure.
I know one movie's more popular than the other,
I'm not
but, like,
really sure.
I don't get that. I think I'm okay with this 5. Now, maybe an outside shot could be Naomi Aki. I want to announce to somebody. I mean, remember Jennifer Hudson?
She got BAFTA
for Respect,
shortlisted, didn't she?
She did. And Jennifer Hudson for Respect got in here as well. But Jennifer Hudson was, you know, a previous winner.
I Want to Dance with Somebody feels like not doing anything.
Yeah, that feels like it's just for the public. Coleman, Empire of Light is probably not going to happen. Emma Thompson, Good Look to You, Leo Grande, Jennifer Lawrence Causeway. I would say... I would say no. Best Actor. I'm going to have Brendan Fraser at #1 for now. I don't know. We'll see, but I a little bit believe in him.
I actually think
we'll see about Austin Butler. You know, I mean, Elvis might get fucking ensemble here. I swear to God. But those two are getting in. Colin Farrell locked in. Bill Nye, that's pretty in. That's pretty in. And at #5, I just think Tom Cruise makes the most sense here.
Yeah.
And I'm going with a pretty default 5. I think we're doing something weird on every other category, but I can't think of, like, other people who would get it. Maybe Tom Hanks for A Man Called Otto. Or Ray Fiennes for The Menu, who has gotten like, a few critics nominations, I will say.
I'm going to say nah.
Or Hugh Jackman for The Sun.
Maybe that.
Paul Mescal is not going to happen here. Not going to happen here. BAFTA will happen.
I mean, when you go down the list, I'm like, Tom Cruise makes the most sense to me by far.
Yeah, absolutely.
By far. If something surprises, then like I get surprised. Like
yeah.
But this is what I have to predict.
And finally, SAG Ensemble.
Here's what we have to say. Women Talking. That this is the elephant in the room. It has underperformed severely at the BAFTA shortlists, which it shouldn't be underperforming on a shortlist. It shouldn't be underperforming on a shortlist, but it fucking did.
Didn't get the casting. It got Wishaw, and it didn't get any actresses. And then it got
director, but like that was really easy because they had 8 women.
And it got some measly Golden Globe nominations that were fucking measly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like literally worried that this movie won't get a Best Picture nomination at this point.
Yeah.
SAG, they do crazy snubs. Women Talking could make sense as even like a One Night in Miami, 5 Bloods, Ma Rainey gets in at SAG because the ensemble's so undeniable.
I still think that might happen.
But then gets snubbed for Best Picture anyway.
I still think Women Talking might get SAG Ensemble.
But at the same time, you know, they will snub shit like The Favorite, where it's like, I can't think of a reason.
That doesn't matter.
No, but Women Talking is so not popular.
But here's the thing.
And not contending for... How do you say it's not going to get any acting awards at all? Because no acting nominations at all. I think it's going to get goose-egged at SAG. I think it's going to be brutal.
Hold up. I think this might be somewhere where it shows that it still has a little something. Like, it lives or dies by this nomination. Let's put it that way. It lives or dies. Because Women Talking is an obvious movie to vote for in Ensemble if you like it and if you've seen it. It's a movie that easily registers as like, oh, SAG Ensemble.
The brand is crowd-pleasing movies that they can cheer to. That's what I think. So. Crazy Rich Asians, Bohemian Rhapsody. Okay, maybe not The Five Bloods.
Black Bottom.
That year was a little something. Okay, but look, House of Gucci, King Richard, Don't Look Up, Bombshell, Jojo Rabbit. Like they don't even have to make that much sense. Like Get Out, the big, sick, light movies.
I guess
a lot of these movies
Get
are quite
Out,
light.
though, like you're framing them really weird.
Get Out was a crowd pleaser. It had
Yeah,
a cheer-worthy
true.
moment at the end.
That's true. But like Mudbound, that wasn't,
Okay, well, Mudbound
is actually kind of like women talking.
That has the Netflix push, though, maybe. And I don't know if the studio of Women Talking, I don't think they have the power of a larger studio, like Netflix or Searchlight or something. Tell me which movie fits the brand of SAG better. Top Gun Maverick, buddy.
Does it?
Of course it fits their brand. They love that. They love cheering at the movies.
It has zeros nominations for ensemble.
They love cheering at the movies. And Elvis could too. Okay?
Elvis wouldn't make jack fuck sense.
Bohemian Rhapsody didn't make jack fuck sense.
I know.
And Elvis, you could say Tom Hanks, Cody Smith-McPhee, Kelvin Harrison Jr., that woman that he was married to, whatever that actress is, like, you could make some crazy excuses. You could really justify it in your head if you wanted to be an insane person. Top Gun Maverick also, like, if you want to break it down, that movie has an ensemble cast.
I know that.
To an extent.
You
could even snub Glass Onion and put Elvis in here if you wanted to go full fucking crazy. But Glass Onion also is, a movie that has cheers and laughs and is a crowd pleaser. I don't think this is going to go like a smooth 5. I think Women Talking versus Top Gun, one of them's much more likely for Best Picture. One of them fits the SAG brand better, and Women Talking is tanking. Jessie Buckley, Claire Foy, Ben Whishaw, they're like number 10.
The weird thing with SAG Ensemble is that you can be a Power of the Dog or a Banshees of Inisherin or The Favorite. You can do really well, even in all the acting categories, and if you don't, like, resonate ensemble, you won't get nominated. Now, Women Talking resonates ensemble.
So does The Favorite.
Not really. It's like
sure
3.
It does. That had 5 people in it. Joe Alwyn and...
Who's Joe Alwyn?
Him and the other guy were also very... And Nicholas Hoult were good.
No. It matters that I don't know who that is. I don't know if people are thinking about Top Gun Maverick
the theory
in terms of its acting ensemble. I don't know. I think you could.
What is the end? Just think about the end credits again, man.
It's hard for me to drop Women Talking because it's such
here's the thing,
Justin.
Don't even think about Women Talking anymore. If you convince me to drop Top Gun, I'm putting Elvis in, and Elvis is possibly getting BAFTA Best Film. Elvis is like number 5 for Best Picture, buddy. Like it's getting up there, my friend. Boz might get DGA. Like, it's going to be crazy. It's going to get crazy in here. And I don't want to necessarily not put Top Gun in, because when you came to me with this revelation a while ago, I was like,
I'm playing devil's advocate because you're, like, trying to push it forward and I'm trying to, like, smack it down. But, like, I still think Top Gun Maverick actually makes way more sense than people give it credit for making.
And then below that... Banshees of Inisherin it's like probably going to get 4 acting nominations. Like most certainly going to get 4 acting nominations. Would be really weird for it not to get ensemble, but alas, like I understand.
Wait,
Power of the Dog.
Has any movie gotten 4 acting
I am not sure. I don't think so, actually.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
So maybe that's it. Okay, I agree that it's not, but it's like, it's weird that it's not.
You could do Wakanda Forever if you wanted to as well.
A lot of people are like, okay, it makes literally no sense that you're doing 4 acting nominations and not. Well, guess what? The SAGs don't make sense oftentimes. Power of the Dog got 3 nominations. La La Land got both of its leads. It feels like it's one of those. I also wonder though if Manchester by the Sea is Banshees of Inisherin.
I think Elvis above Top Gun.
I don't like
Elvis at number Elvis is number 4.
No.
Elvis is number 4.
No.
And Glass Onion is on the cusp because Knives Out didn't fucking make it.
Do you think Black Panther could still get it?
They could get it. It's an outside shot, though.
It would be very, very well deserved if it did. I do think Black Panther could get it because it's also getting a fucking supporting actress nomination, which the first one couldn't even get. I want you to acknowledge
Angela
that Black
Bassett
Panther could happen.
is completely separated from the love for the movie. It's a completely isolated thing. Okay, Knives Out not only got a lot of nominations that I am seeing, it fucking won a lot. 29 ensemble nominations, won 21 awards. But we think Janelle Monáe's getting in too.
I think people considered it like number 3 for a nomination, if you recall.
I recall number 2. I really want to put Top Gun Maverick in. Like, I feel like if the nominations were Top Gun Maverick and Elvis, I'd be like, yeah. Is Top Gun Maverick too weird?
I think it's a little too weird to actually predict it. Because how often have they nominated a film that literally got no ensemble nominations anywhere else?
Elvis isn't getting any ensemble nominations, but that's gonna get nominated.
I don't know about that. I'll let you put it in because you put it to.
And we know 4. Women Talking is not happening.
I don't know if we know that, but I'm gonna concede on that. Yeah, anyway. Shout out to Triangle of Sadness.
Shout out to The Menu.
And shout out to The Menu. I would love if those got nominated.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing.
Do you think Elvis deserves a SAG Ensemble nomination?